What's up everyone, I'm Callum on Toast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Open Great League submitted to the channel by Chaos288, who's running a triple bug team, all with the newly buffed X-Scissor to see if the damage buff was enough to make bugs more viable. With that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. Which Pokemon do you think benefits the most from the X-Scissor buff this season? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we need Crustle into Dugong, so a very nice lead matchup for us. The opponent is actually choosing to stay in this matchup here, so we're now going to go for an X-Scissor, throwing on the CMP tie with the potential Icy Wind, so making sure we get off the damage before they can debuff us, and as a result we do grab a shield from the opponent. We're also going to respect the damage there. The opponent swaps into Sableye, and this is where the buffed X-Scissor might come into play, as we can shield up the foul play, and then we will be able to overfarm in this matchup, go for the X-Scissor, and even though this is only neutral damage, X-Scissor does so much damage to the Sableye that we can actually poison jab farm them all the way down. They come back in with the Dugong, we can go for the X-Scissor here, very good timing by this trainer, and X-Scissor will be taking out the Dugong as well. They come in with Defense Form Deoxys, and these counters are double resisted. They're gonna have to go for a charge move to take us out, because if they commit to the full counter farm down, we make it to a second X-Scissor, and this is gonna do so much damage to the Defense Form Deoxys that we can come in with the Golisopod, Shadow Claw farm them down, and take that game. So into the next game, we see Galarian Weezing in the lead here. We're going to stay in this lead matchup. It's a fairly neutral matchup. This could be enough energy for the Overheat or the Play Rough. It is the Play Rough, and we do respect the damage there. They then come in with a Water type. I didn't see what it was. We go for a Rock Slide, and it is a Politoed. So maybe after landing that damage, we might be able to fully Shadow Claw, farm them down from this range. Everything is resisted by Golisopod. If they're running Earthquake, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Weather Ball, Surf, does not matter. And they go for the Weather Ball there. Can we get the farm down? Yes, we can. We come out with 100 energy loaded. They come back in with their Galarian Weezing. We go for Liquidation. It does connect, and we can fully Shadow Claw farm down the Weezing as well. And now they come in with, I think that was a Melmetal, as it was a Thunder Shock. We go for Liquidation, grabbing a shield from the opponent. We go for Liquidation number 2, and Liquidation from this range does big damage, and it gets a defense drop as well. Now this is a little bit tricky, because if they're running Rock Slide, it will do a lot of damage to us, but it's actually a double Iron Bash, which is only going to be neutral damage up against the Shadow Beedrill. Double Iron Bash still does a decent amount of damage there. We swap into our Crustle, and even though it's super effective, we should barely live one double Iron Bash from this range, which we do, and we're actually able to smack down, farm down the Melmetal, and take that game. Into the next game, we see Whimsicott in the lead, so we've got a much better response in the back. We're going to say swap into Golisopod here, and the opponent catches an X-Scissor onto their Talonflame, so very nice catch, but then they go and shield it anyway, so definitely a mistake there. It was a very nice catch, but then I don't know if they doubted themselves there, but they now go for a Flame Charge. We're going to shield that up. We're going to go for 2 Shadow Claws before going for Liquidation. Very nice timing, and the opponent lets it go through. We take out the Talonflame, and now they come in with a Wall Rain, which is also a great matchup for the Golisopod, as once again we do resist everything they can throw. We go for X-Scissor, and that does a lot of damage to the Wall Rain. We've now got the exact alignment we want. This should be a very comfortable game here. Now we can come in with the Crustle. They swap into their Whimsicott. We catch the move onto the Beedrill, and we will be able to fully Poison Jab, farm down this Whimsicott, as it's double super effective. We get the farm down. They come back in with the Wall Rain. We go for the X-Scissor, throwing on the CMP tie. X-Scissor grabs the final shield from the opponent. We can let this move go through, and we can come back in with our Crustle very easily, go for 1 smackdown, and that will be enough damage to take out the Wall Rain, and we take that game. Into the next game, we see Azumarill in the lead, so going to say swap into Golisopod once again, always coming in with the softer response to their lead, so that if we can regain switch advantage, we can then align the Shadow Beedrill to their Azumarill. But here, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to regain switch advantage, as they come in with a Pelipper. We go for Liquidation. We actually grab a shield there though, which is very nice for the Golisopod, as typically they do resist everything we can throw. And here we go for another Liquidation. If they go for a full farm down, we would have made it to another Liquidation, so good. Well, okay, they go go for the Hurricane there. That was definitely overkill. And in this battle, we're actually running Fury Cutter, which is quite interesting. But we can now go for an X-Scissor. And even though it's resisted damage, that's enough to take them out there. So that was definitely the boosted damage from that X-Scissor that came in clutch there. We now go for another X-Scissor, grabbing a shield from the Obstagoon. They swap into a Azumarill, we bank a charge move, and then come in with the Shadow Beedrill. And we should be able to shield once and potentially fully farm them down from this range. It might be close here. Let's see, can we get the farm down? No, we're going to go for a Drill Run here. Just play it safe. And Drill Run will easily take out the Azumarill. We will be able to make it to the X-Scissor here. We actually don't need to shield this up. The opponent goes for a Cross Chop. Definitely not the right play there. Obviously, these opponents aren't maybe the most educated players ever, but we're able to go for the X-Scissor, take out the Obstagoon, and take that game. Into next game, we see Politoed in the lead, so safe swap into the Shadow Beedrill because this time Golisopod would be the harder response, resisting everything they can throw. They go for a Weather Wall, and we can now go for an X-Scissor, and this X-Scissor is going to do big damage to that Politoed. Honestly, that is huge there. Now we can shield this up and fully farm them down. They might switch out here, and they do. They swap into Lantern. This is actually really bad for us. We need this Drill Run to land, otherwise it's basically game over, and unfortunately they do shield it up. And yeah, this is really bad. There's not a lot we can do now. They can hit for super effective. We try to catch a Surf. I really like that play, but unfortunately the opponent is disciplined. They hold on to the energy. They full send the Thunderbolt, and yeah, we can't do anything now, unfortunately. We're going to shield this up. They should still be able to make it to another Surf to take us out before we can get to back-to-back charge moves or farm them down. And Surf from this range should be about enough damage here to nearly take out the Crustle. They actually swap. I didn't see what they came in with there. I think it might have been a Emolga there, but it doesn't matter. It's too late. Thundershock takes us out, and we do unfortunately lose that game. So GG's to that opponent. Well, on behalf of this trainer. But into the next game, we see another Dugong in the lead, and this time we don't throw straight away. I know, of course, we don't actually make it to the rock side, but I think we should go for the X-Scissor straight away, as we can at least grab an early shield or just deal damage before they debuff us. And now they swap into an Obstagoon, so we're going to bank a little bit of energy, a little bit slow to swap out, but it doesn't really matter. Beedrill is a very good response, even when the opponent does correctly go for Night Slash here. Now we can go for an X-Scissor. An X-Scissor will be enough damage from this range to take out the Obstagoon, so they put up a shield. We're now going to use our first shield, shielding up the Night Slash. Oh, sorry, that was our final shield there. But we can barely outpace them and throw on the CMP tie, going for the X-Scissor, which will be taking out the Obstagoon. They come back in with the Dugong. They do go for a charge move here, so we're going to have to let this go through. Drill Run takes us out. We're now going to come back in with the Crustle. They come in with a Alolan Ninetales, and this Rock Slide is going to do massive damage to the Ninetales. We get the Smackdown farm down, and we were able to Smackdown farm down the Dugong and take that game. Into the next game, we see a Carving in the lead, so this is a pretty awful lead matchup. We're going to swap into our Golisopod, and the opponent makes a catch there. I didn't see what they came in with. We go for the X-Scissor, and it's actually a Medicham, which they end up shielding as well. So we're now going to go straight X-Scissor in this matchup. I wonder if this is now the play, since it does a lot more damage than it used to. Before, I think you probably have to land a Liquidation and an X-Scissor, but maybe here you can just go straight X-Scissor in this matchup, and from this range, a final X-Scissor will be enough damage to take out the Medicham, but they come straight back in with the Carbink, but they actually throw their energy. Massive mistake on the opponent's end. They could have easily farmed us down. We were nowhere near a charge move, and now we can come in with our Shadow Beedrill, go for a Drill Run, and this will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent. Hopefully we can make it to another Drill Run to take them out. It's going to be incredibly close. They go for a Rock Slide, and we do make it. I think we waited one turn just to make sure they didn't catch, so very nice play. If that was the case, it's kind of hard to see since it is in 2x speed, but the opponent's got a Digger's Beat in the back, and this is really awful for the Crustle. Of course, X-Scissor being boosted is now going to really help us out, but unfortunately they do resist the Smackdown damage, which is going to be the main source of damage from this Crustle, and they also get an attack drop with the Scorching Sands, which is really bad for us. They make it to Scorching Sand number 2. We can now go for an X-Scissor, throwing off the 3 Smackdowns, so very good timing, not allowing them to get much extra energy in for free, but the opponent over farms here. Massive mistake. I think they might have thought we were close to a move on the Beedrill, but we're not, and we're able to snipe them with the Poison Jab and take that game. So into the next game we see Slurpuff in the lead, the opponent safe swaps into Bubble Jellicent, and this is a really good matchup for Golisopod, even if they go straight for a Shadow Ball, which they do because they're not going to be able to fast move farm us down. We're actually going to go for an X-Scissor here, and X-Scissor still does a decent amount of damage to the point where we could probably just Shadow Claw farm them all the way down, but instead of using a shield, we're going to go straight for X-Scissor number 2, take out the Jellicent, and they come back in with their Slurpuff, and we will make it to a Liquidation before they get the full farm down, and Liquidation will be grabbing a shield from the opponent. No defense drop unfortunately, but we can now come in with the Shadow Beedrill. We're going to have to respect the damage from a potential Flamethrower, which it is, and the opponent's staying in this matchup here, so we are now going to go for an X-Scissor, but the opponent catches it perfectly onto Berserker, but that still does so much damage, about 35% of their health. We then swap and catch a charge move of our own as they go for a foul play, doesn't do too much damage to the Crustle, and honestly these smackdowns are really chunking this Berserker. We can go for an X-Scissor, and even though it's resisted, they have to respect the damage here as they're going to go for a full farm down. No, they can't commit. I think we would have actually farmed them down first. They have to go for a foul play, but now we can come back in with the Beedrill, go for an X-Scissor before they make it to a third charge move, taking out the Berserker. They've got a charge move on their Slurpuff, but it does not matter. We can safely shield this up, go for the Poison Jab farm down, and we're able to take that game. So into the next game we see Crustle into Pelipper, so a very nice lead for the Crustle, although Weather Ball will be super effective towards us. We are going to possibly shield the first move. No, we're going to let it go through. Weather Ball does a lot of damage. They now swap into their Lantern, and here we're going to come in with our Shadow Beedrill, and of course Drill Run is super effective, but we might just be able to go straight X-Scissor in this matchup now that it does a lot more damage, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The opponent lets it go through knowing it isn't the Drill Run, and here unfortunately, I don't think we can afford to shield this up, but it's just a Surf, and we do barely live it. We take them out with the Poison Jab, that went through, so we do still regain switch advantage. Unfortunately, we don't make it to a Drill Run there. Perhaps should have just gone for the X-Scissor, but that's unfortunate. And now here we are going to have to make a call. Are they going to bait with a Fell Stinger? Yes, they are, and unfortunately they were already at a Fell Stinger and a Wild Charge, so Wild Charge will easily one-shot Golisopod. We come in with the Crustle, it's basically game over now. We go for a Rock Slide, they can safely let this go through. They actually do shield it anyways, but it doesn't matter. They get the Wing Attack farm down, and we do unfortunately lose that game. But into the next game, we see Leafeon in the lead. We're going to swap into our Golisopod for some reason. I guess just in case they've got something in the back like a flying type. So we go for the X-Scissor. That nearly takes them out there. So that's certainly a matchup where X-Scissor being able to deal more damage really helped us out. They now come in with Alolan Ninetales, and we can go for that Liquidation, grabbing a shield and getting the defense drop as well. So now I think we're going to come in with the Shadow Beedrill just because we do resist the charm damage here. And yet we're coming in with the Beedrill. They swap into Bastiodon, and we are running Drill Run, but unfortunately we go for the Drill Run on the alignment there, giving them a full smackdown in for free. But we do make it to another Drill Run, but unfortunately we then don't think we're going to get there, so we go for the X-Scissor instead, and they let it go through as well. So that's really unfortunate for us. We could have just taken out the Bastiodon there, but unfortunately they get off a Flamethrower, but we're able to get the Smackdown farm down, and from this range we should be able to just fully Smackdown, farm down the Ninetales, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.